So one day, this is a story that I found out after what happened. So one day, I guess these two kids, they go and borrow a guy's radio. It's a guy that's been in jail for about 20 years. They borrow his radio. So when they borrow his radio,
something you don't do.
Huh?
Something you don't do.
So, well, you know, something you don't do, right? So when they borrowed his radio, I guess the other little guy that was in the cell with him borrowed somebody else's radio as well. And it was two of the same radios. So the radio that the other guy borrowed, the other guy allowed him to keep it. He was like, yo, you can keep this radio. But the video that they borrowed from the old timer wanted his radio back. So somewhere, somehow, these kids get this brilliant idea to switch some of the things outside of the radio to the old radio to make their video work better than the one that they borrowed from the Indian guy. So the Indian guy got the radio back and figured this whole scam out. So he told the kids, he was like, listen, give me my motherfucking radio or my money. So the kids was like, yo, we ain't do nothing to your video, you bugging out, this and that. Boom, 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 boom. They get into a little argument. So the kids, they went to chow. On their way back from chow, one of the kids popped on him. He popped on him. He was like, yo, get out of my face. Beat the Indian dude up, fucked him up, did him dirty. So, like 2 days later, we wake up for chow. So we wake up for chow, and we come out our cell, we go to chow.
Wait, who hit who? I'm so sorry.
So
the Indian guy hit the young.
One of the young guys they beat the Indian guy up.
Oh, so I heard it right. Okay, I'm sorry.
They beat the Indian guy up, and they basically was letting the Indian guy know that he's dead on his whatever he's saying. Get the fuck out their face.
Right.
So the Indian guy stayed in his cell for about 3 days. One morning we woke up for chow. We went to chow, and we came back from chow. On our way back from chow, when we came back from chow, we locked in ourselves. It was a normal day. 5 minutes later, we hear a scream. Somebody please call the cops. Please call the cops. This is the worst thing I think I ever seen in jail. Nobody is going to call the cops in here. Because this is jail. You're going to be labeled as a snitch if you call up there and call the CO. The Indian guy then grabbed the young boy in his cell and he's stabbing him to death. So we trying to tell the Indian guy, Indio, to chill. He ain't chilling. He stabs this young kid up and kills him. And then he turns around and try to cut his body up and flush it down the toilet. So
with the shit that he got from jail?
With the shit that he got from jail. So the next morning,
was he able to cut up?
No, he was able to cut parts of his flesh off and flush it down the toilet, but he wasn't able to really carve him up the way he thought that he was and get away with the murder. So one of the COs came in in the next 4 hours, and he smelled the blood. And he screamed and was like, lock this motherfucker down. I smell blood. And when he went through the cells, they found the little kid. The Indian guy had wrapped the little kid up in his blanket. They found the little kid in there dead. But the most illest part about this whole story is this. This was the most baddest thing I seen in prison. But the most horrible thing about this story is that when you die in prison, if someone's your relative, you're allowed to go to their funeral. Mm-hmm. This kid that got killed, right? He was 17 years old. He never seen his father a day in his life. His father was on top of him and didn't know.
What?
The kid's
father was on top of him.
Was on top of him on the 6th floor and didn't know, and they killed his son on the 7th floor. And
so when he found out,
he was on the 7th. He was on the 5th floor, and his son was on the 4th floor.
All
they
alone.
killed his son, and he didn't know it was his son until the Reverend came 3 days later and told him that it's somebody calling saying you have a son that got killed in this prison. That's the worst thing I think I ever seen in prison.
Right, it's like, damn, the story got worse and worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick.
Everything else was just regular shit. Stabbings, cuttings, gang banging. Those guys